Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. Crikey, is it Wednesday already? So, my name is Brendan Prince and I'm the founder of the charity Above Water. And Above Water brings you water safety and drowning prevention messages every single day in this lockdown period. So today we are going to talk about drowning. It's a really big one. So, I've been a lifeguard for in pools and as a beach lifeguard for over 20 years. And something which always amazes me when I see and watch films is that if somebody is drowning in a film, they make lots of noise and they scream and shout and they splash and everyone can hear what's going on. Whereas in fact, in reality, drowning is silent. Drowning is silent, which means somebody next to you in the pool or in the sea can be drowning and you just think they're having fun in the water. So watch this video.
If you picture what you think a person looks like when they're on the verge of drowning, do you see them waving their arms and yelling for help? That might be what happens in the movies, but in real life, it is a much different scene. In this next part of our Drowning Dangers special report, News 4's George Rickert shows us how to tell if someone is in trouble in the water. So let's go back to George live now at Squaw Island. George?
That's right, Jackie. And before we show you this man we interviewed was a lifeguard for 20 years. He was on a Bronx beach where they literally saw thousands of people drowning each year. That's how he knows, and he managed to capture one of those events on camera.
There are people very close to him who didn't realize this boy was drowning.
This young boy does not have any movement in or out from shore, neither left nor right. He remains in the same position and extends his arms out to the sides. Drowning people don't have a choice. You know, nature tells them what to do.
After 20 years as a lifeguard, witnessing thousands of people close to drowning on Orchard Beach in the Bronx, Dr. Frank Pia captured this, what he calls the instinctive drowning response.
The young boy's mouth is sinking below and reappearing above the surface of the water.
Most drowning victims can't yell for help because they're having trouble breathing, and their arms are busy grabbing the surface of the water. But when help arrives,
You see the young boy's struggle immediately stop. And during the rescue, the lifeguard props him up further and further. The further the boy's mouth gets away from the surface of the water, you'll see that his head is turning around, so he's looking for safety. You have to understand that the struggle of the drowning person lasts between 20 and 60 seconds. Young children struggle less than adults. The drowning movements of a young child can look like they're actually doing the dog paddle in the water when they're actually drowning.
So as you saw in that video, that child was drowning, and yet only 10 feet away were adults, parents, brothers, sisters, whoever, and they couldn't realise that that child was drowning. So let's talk about the drowning process. We all know that if you're in trouble in water, we lie, we float on our back, don't we? Whereas people that don't practice that, their natural body is to be vertical in the water. So if we go through the process, if you see someone who is facing help, so naturally, every time I've ever been in a rescue, the person you're trying to help is facing where help could come from. Number two, the mouth is open. Now, as you can imagine, that can lead to big problems for this person because water is going in, but they're trying to get air in. This is why they don't shout or scream, because they're not going to use that last bit of air to shout or scream, because they're trying to have that breath, which is a life-saving breath for them. Number three, the head is tilted back because they're trying to get the mouth higher in the water. Number four, the body is in this vertical position. Now, as we know, in that vertical position, it's very easy for the body to go under, to bob up and down. So they do look like they are bobbing up and down. Whereas we know to float on our back gives a greater surface area on the water and is easier to do than this vertical position. And they look like they're doing the doggy paddle. Look like they're climbing a ladder. So the motion is the arms kind of doing this. It's a claw to get out of the water. They're not trying to swim, they're not trying to doggy paddle, they're actually in their last phases of staying above the water. Drowning, 20 seconds, 60 seconds, that's all it can be. So it is silent, which means that when we are watching children in the water, so kids, go and get mum and dad to listen to this bit, we always watch with our eyes the whole time the child in the water. Never with our ears, because you won't hear drowning. If you're on the phone, you won't hear drowning. Drowning is silent. This is what it looks like. The video that I showed a minute ago is what it looks like. We watch and supervise with our eyes. And if we see this motion in process, obviously you need to call a lifeguard, or you need to help this individual throw something in for them to grab onto, to float on. Shout at them to float on their back, because that gives them the time for a rescue to come and happen. And it also means in that time they're much safer position floating on their backs than they are in this drowning position. Okay, so today's phonetic alphabet letters. We are on to U and V. U is my favourite, uniform, uniform. And V is Victor, Victor. So we really are flying through now. We've only got a couple of days, 4 letters left. So get practicing, keep going, because on Friday we're going to have a test of all the letters. So today is uniform and Victor. Okay, so we're on to our knots. Today is a very simple knot. It's the surgeon's knot. Sounds more complicated than it is. Trust me, it's the easiest way, in my opinion, to join 2 ropes together. Really useful for day-to-day life, because often we need to make a bit of rope longer. So this is a super simple one for that. So we get our 2 ends of rope. These 2 ends then, we basically, all we're going to do is wrap one around the other once, twice, and then when it comes around, as you can see, it's wrapped around like a snake twice. We're then just going to bring it round, which is an overhand knot. Remember those from a week ago? Pull it tight, and then when we pull, it actually then locks in on itself, and it is super tight. It's not breaking, and as you can see, it's just the 2 bits of rope joined together, and that is the surgeon's knot. Right, so that's the end of today, Wednesday. So thank you very much. Super important lessons of looking at what drowning is today. So make sure mum and dad see this, your auntie and uncle see this, what drowning actually looks like, because drowning is silent. Thank you very much. Remember, check out our website, www.abovewater.org. Please like and share and follow our YouTube channel. And also check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, all our daily messages. We put out a picture a day, which is meant to be a thought-provoking photo on water safety. So, thanks very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.